Lando Calrissian Skiff guard. Once a smooth-talking smuggler, Lando Calrissian changed from a get-rich schemer to a selfless leader in the fight against the Empire. When his old friend Han Solo was held captive in the palace of Jabba the Hutt, Lando joined forces with Princess Leia in a mission to rescue him from certain demise. Hello and welcome to another Centurion's Corner, and today we're reviewing Lando Calrissian Skiff guard disguise. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Lando Calrissian, I must admit. He's kind of like the sort of good guy that was kind of always there on the wing, but it was never my main character to go to really when I was a kid, sort of playing with the figures and stuff like that. You know, Empire Strikes Back, he did double cross Han and Leia, and I suppose really in Return of the Jedi he did get his sort of like redemption, I suppose, but he was still never given that sort of main good screen time to really sort of give himself dues, in my opinion anyway. But as the Kenner figure and stuff like that, I actually used to love this figure as the Kenner, and I always have a thing for removable helmets. I don't know what it is, but when I was collecting the Clone series figures, I would only collect the clones that had removable helmets. I wouldn't really go for the clones that just were a generic clone. And yeah, so now I can recreate my childhood coming up for a 40-year-old. So with this guy here, he's looking pretty cool, I must admit. His face sculpt as well looks a little bit better than the Lando Calrissian Bespin that I haven't reviewed on my channel. I have him, so I can do a review off the shelf sooner or later, but I will do some comparison shots at the end of the video, so you'll be able to see him with the face sculpt and all that technology on there. So here he is. In his window we got the sort of like vibro skiff kind of sort of staff that he has, the removable helmet, looking pretty cool in that armour, I must admit. I'm quite looking excited to get him out. So we got him here in the box. Well, the picture down here, it looks a bit skew with, like his mouth shouldn't be there, it just looks all a bit sort of misshapen, but nonetheless it's an alright drawing. On the side he's number 76 in the line. We got Lando Skiff guard, and we just got Lando with a CA on the top there. Still annoys me that they don't shrink that black writing down, or just keep it black. And on the back we got this bio and that picture again. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. Okay, so here he is in his blister pack. No extra accessories hidden away. It's just literally Lando, his helmet and his vibro axe, which to be honest, it's what the original Kenner come with. I wouldn't expect him to come with anything else. I can't remember if he had the Luke Skywalker pistol actually. Maybe I'm just kind of thinking of something else. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I expected, and he would look pretty cool just standing there. Hopefully he can double hand that vibro axe as well. So we'll take him out. We'll have our first ganders at him, and then I'll take away, get some pictures, and then give him a full review as well. The face sculpt is actually looking really nice actually, looking at this figure. I have got a bit of paint blemish on the side there. Either that or he's got a giant mole on the side of his cheek, but I'll see if I can get rid of that. Also it looks like there's a bit of damage on the sort of like a torso part there as well, but we can just blacken that up and pretend it's a scrape in the armour. But looking at him, he looks pretty cool, the armour's pretty nice, and we'll go away, take some pictures. So we'll see you in a moment. Well, welcome back. So I've gone away, taken some photos, and I must admit this character is pretty photogenic. He's pretty nice, to be honest, and I would highly recommend this character actually. For like 20 quid I would just go out there and get him, to be honest, and sometimes you might even get him a little bit cheaper. But yeah, he's actually really nice looking, and actually the actual figure himself is just really nice to hold. And just looking at him, he kind of really looks like a bit of a premium toy, to be honest. So he does feel quite nice. So he comes with a couple of accessories. It comes with his sort of vibro staff and obviously his helmet. So we'll look at the vibro staff, and as you can see, he can actually hold it with double hands, which is pretty cool. So it's quite nice. His articulation as well, once we get through all these, is actually really nice as well. So the vibro axe, yeah, it's kind of done in a nice kind of sort of gun grey plastic, and it has got a few sort of extra kind of paint apps on there just to give it off that sort of scuffness look on there. Unfortunately, it's not all the way through, so it's only at the top of the blade, and then pretty much the rest of it is just the gun plastic. But it does take it away from there, but I might even just scuff up the rest there just to give it that extra look on there, because it does look nice. It is like metallic and stuff, but it just makes the rest of the actual stuff look a little bit crap. But his helmet's pretty cool. So as you can see, it's a nice sort of fit on his head, and it just comes around. Unfortunately, like, this bit's not movable. It's just kind of like very soft sort of vinyl plastic, and it just fits on there, and it is a very squishy kind of sort of plastic, but it just sort of fits over his head just nicely. And looking at the paint apps on there, so you can see it's like a worn leather look. It's had plenty of sort of time and dust and gatherage on there, and we've got the kind of sort of like bone jawline of the visor part, and just that sort of metallic look around the back as well. So actually it's really nice detail, and because it's made of that squidginess, it's not really going to affect the awesome paint job of Lando Calrissian. So looking at that, we'll go through his articulation. So we've got his head, and yeah, he's got a bit of a rocker on there. He can look left and right, he can look up, and he can look down, which is nice. And then on his arms, we can't really go up much because it gets hindered by this sort of shoulder pad here, which is not too bad. He can go upwards though, he can go back, and he's got his rotation at the elbow, and he's got a nice more than 90-degree elbow bend, which is absolutely superb. He's got rotation at his wrist, and it's also on a little hinge. And then we've got the standard sort of like waist swivel, and he can look down this far, and he can look back this far. He can kick forward this amount, and he can kick back that much, and it's not hindered by this at all, as it's just a really soft kind of vinyl plastic. We've got the upper thigh rotation, we've got a lovely double jointed knee as well, and we've got the rocker and the pivot at his ankle. So just general kind of black seriesness, but it's done to its best. So we've got the best elbow bend we can have. We lost a little bit up here because of his shoulder armour, but we've got the good part of his head. We've got the rocker and everything on there. So yeah, you know, they've actually sort of sculpted it around the sort of articulation, which is really, really nice. And saying that, the actual sculpt is really nice. So as you said before as well, we've got the face on there, and then we go down. We've got the hair, and they've actually done the hair really nicely. Actually, they got that kind of sort of waviness sculpt in there, which is pretty cool. And I think even from behind, you could actually say that's Lando's hair. And then at the front, we got the nice sort of metallic kind of chest plate, and it's all smacked and thing, looking like rough armour. It's pretty cool. But the best part of it is actually what they've done with all the strapping, how it's all held on with the straps going around, and these straps going across the back with the rivets, and actually they're attached to this, which then these are attached to these parts here, and it actually looks like a really cool piece of armour that's just kind of rested over him, looking a bit of that sort of old sort of medieval type kind of thing, which looks really nice. And then obviously we've got this sort of layered kind of texture this way, and down here it looks like we've got a sash around his waist, and then which goes then onto the next part down, which is like the nice leather belt and the sort of little tunic part as well, which is pretty cool. Just the way it's sort of made up, it just looks like a premium figure. It just doesn't look too much like a Black Series figure when you compare it to some of the others. So he's got this sort of more baggier sort of like black top underneath, and this side he's got the armour sort of bracer on there, and obviously this side we haven't. But yeah, again, the detail's fine. A little bit of paint miss up on here, but nonetheless it's not too bad. And I think I just missed a little buckle. I think there's only one little buckle up there. And then onto his belt and going down to his trousers. Unfortunately, I don't know, would I like a little bit more dirt on these trousers? They do look very sort of bright and creamy, which is a bit of a bummer. But, you know, we've got all the wrinkles and the raffles in there, which is quite nice. And then we've got the straps around the back of the thing going down into the boots. We've got no kind of sort of real leather look on these boots, not like some of the things that we have sometimes. It's just like a brown paint. But again, we've got the buckles, got a nice thick sole on the boot, and yeah, it just really looks really nice. And I must admit, it's probably one of my favourite figures out there actually. It just feels really cool, I'm really impressed. So yeah, highly recommend this character. So guys, I think that brings me to the end of Lando Calrissian in his skiff designs. I mean, what do you think of him? I mean, you can comment down below. You can follow me on Instagram and hopefully see some more pictures coming up on there soon. But yeah, so thanks for following, guys. Thanks for following the channel. You can subscribe, you can comment, Instagram, descriptions in the post. And I'll see you again next time. Take care.